Hi, guys. Are we the same height?
Hi. I was just checking that out. Oh. What was the hi, guys?
Hi, guys. I don't know.
So what are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Full Moon 2008 Petite Syrah from Swan Hill, Victoria. The label's
Have you
kind of
tried that one?
I think so. I don't know.
Swan Hill. I don't know that as a very wide district. Swan Hill. We used to go carp fishing in there. Maybe it's made out of minced up carp.
Carp. Ew. Doesn't taste like it.
Doesn't taste like carp. Have you ever had minced carp?
No, but I had. That's fish, yeah.
Yeah, but many years ago I had a German boss and he saw pictures of this pile of carp like this high on the banks of the river and just said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, it's against the law to release them." So in Australia, European carp is a pest. They muddy up and wreck all our rivers and stop our native fish from breeding. And they live in mud, like solid fat mud for 6 months. As soon as it gets a bit of water in it, oh, we're alive again.
Really?
Yeah, but anyway, they grow big and so he was having a go at me and I said, they just taste, we'd eat them, but they taste so bad. So they used a lot, there's a fertiliser company called Charlie Carp and they would pay people to bring truckloads of them and they'd fertilise.
With fish.
So then our food tastes like carp. No. So he said it, so I said, well, we're going up in 2 weeks. He said, if you can bring one back alive, and I said, well, that's easy, they'll live in a bucket of water. But I got a big one, I had a big container of water and brought it back and for 3 days he had it in a bathtub with fresh water and kept changing the water. You can see the water just slowly getting brown each time. I said, so we have to do this preparation before? Yes, and then his wife cooked it up.
Like to get all the mud off it?
Yeah. And so his wife cooked it up and he took one mouthful and said, yeah, no. I can see why you throw them on the banks of the river.
Oh my gosh.
I'm certain I think if you filled them with chilli, you could most likely get away with it.
Just disguise the taste of it.
In fact, you would love them. They'd be like mushrooms to you, dirt.
Yuck, I hate mushrooms.
I know, you keep telling me.
Gross, slimy dirt. I don't want to know where to put this.
Even those little, like the tiny little Japanese ones, have you ever had them?
Yeah, you made me try some, I think. When we went to Coco.
A Coco, so you didn't even like them because they're sweet. I couldn't,
no. It's taste mushrooms.
I don't know.
They're gross. Yuck.
Yuck.
Yuck. But this doesn't taste like fish, though.
Or mushrooms?
Or mushrooms. This tastes quite nice, actually.
Quite nice, actually.
It's a bit lighter, though, than what I'm used to. That's all right.
You just feel like you're in Europe again. Can I please have a heavy wine?
Yeah. We only have Pinot Noir.
We have Pinot Noir. We have rosé. Is that heavy enough for you?
At least when it got warmer in Europe, I didn't mind drinking rosé. Well, I like drinking rosé.
Well, you drink rosé in Australia.
Yeah, when it's warm. But other than that, I like.
It was warm when we were over there.
If anything, it was cold. At the beginning, it was cold.
Oh, that's right, because it was cold in...
It was like, we started in Switzerland.
But even in Barcelona it was cold.
It was cold. I was like, this is not the Spanish summer I signed up for.
It wasn't... When we were at the Hills Are Alive, down in the valley, the sex spa, that wasn't like freezing there. Or am I thinking
It was cold.
I can't remember it being
we
cold.
did an outside workshop and I was freezing.
What's new?
Oh, I needed to look cute.
Yeah, behind bars, holding bars, looking cute. Beck loves jail shots.
Oh my God.
Were you with me when I found that place? No, you weren't. I think that was on the first day I was doing the one-on-one training. There was another model and we're walking. I just wanted to show Patrick all the places of light. And I kept on seeing everything in his portfolio. It was all studio. And I think you've got some of the most beautiful light and buildings. Not that you need, you have them out of focus, but there's structure in the backgrounds. And we're walking away and he was taking me to this place and it's like 6 places you've just walked by. So come back. I said, in there? And he goes, yeah. And so I walked down and you saw the little bars and the steps. I moved the model straight in there and he just gone, oh, I didn't know that light was down there.
Yeah.
Duh, you can't just go walking. You
have to.
Well, you've seen me with my nooks and crannies, and I walk backwards, falling over things just so I can see light on models' faces.
Yes.
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 So
Hopefully, speaking of that, hopefully we've got some good weather in New York, because I remember last year it was a bit of a struggle for the natural light because it was overcast.
yeah, it's
And because we were struggling to find somewhere that you could get a direction of light. Well, we found that scaffolding, but I mean, who knows if that's going to
that
be.
won't be there now.
Yeah.
Well, it could be.
Where
There's always scaffolding somewhere in America, but that was a big wide street path.
Yeah.
So that was really handy because we had all that depth.
True. But also this year we're doing things the other way around. We normally do New York last, whereas we're doing it first, so it's going to be a bit warmer, so it's going to be closer to summer.
But New York can just turn.
But it's closer to summer.
No, we're getting closer to winter.
No, we're doing it first, so it's closer than what we usually do.
Sorry, I thought we were coming there later than we normally go.
But we're doing New York first, and we normally do that at the end.
Right. So
But we're not going any later than we normally go.
aren't we? Oh, no, that's right, because we keep missing,
Yeah.
what's it called?
Flooding Man.
No. No, that's earlier. No, the
Halloween,
the best occasion in the world. And
Yeah.
I've been there twice a day before,
Yeah.
and everyone's raving about you got to come to the Halloween parties and everything. But
Well,
oops, no, I'm not.
Oh.
I'd rather go to Day of the Dead.
That's in Mexico. Yeah.
I know. That's what I mean. If I'm going to go to a Halloweeny thing, I'd rather go to a Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Halloween in Vegas was pretty cool when I was 21. Hospital wasn't, but
But at the same time, saying this, although it might have been that weird year where I flew from London to New York, I can't remember, my brain's a bit fried. Would you please turn off your phones when we have a podcast? And I don't know the numbers, so it'll be, hello, sir. Would you like solar power for your house that's in the trees? Anyway, I should have actually answered on my normal thing. So I could have sold them photography. You ever heard me do that yet?
no.
Someone on there trying to sell me something, I started selling them photography packages. It's really funny. Well, I don't really want photography right now. I said, well, I don't really want what you're selling either, but you...
I've never heard you do that one.
I'll have the next one. Although lately I've just been hanging up.
Yeah.
Although I normally let it connect, then hang up. Well, see, that could have been a client,
It could have been.
but our books are closed, so... It could have been a model in LA, in Austin, who wants to do all of our workshops with 4 of her friends. I don't know how she would have got my number, but it could have been.
It could have been nice.
Yes. Anyone know any good models in Austin? Just drop us a line. We're
Oh, no,
finding it.
I've been speaking to an agency got back to me.
Oh,
one of
an
the
agency.
ones, one of the ones that I contacted got back to me. So
Not the one that's been self-trained.
no,
No, I won't talk about that. It's quite funny.
but no, another one. The agency got back to me and they look like they've got some all right people. So I need to liaise with. They've included someone else that I need to speak with. So
Oh, good.
we're talking to them and booking our models.
And booking our models.
Yes.
Models.
Models.
All right, so
New
I have
York
to do the pig. New York.
No, you go first.
No,
No, you're fine.
no, I forgot where we got up to. So New York was just a natural light and that. Yeah, though next year's going to be better, but I think I might sneak it in this year.
What?
I might bring a couple of roto lights.
Oh.
And just say, when you've got days like this and we cannot find nooks and crannies to stick the models into, because most of the nooks and crannies in New York smell like urine anyway. I know, the worst place was London, wasn't it? Every time in Shoreditch, every little doorway, it was always smelt worse than smelt like Burning Man toilets. Sorry everyone at Burning Man, but Beck killed herself laughing. Only because we weren't there.
I giggled.
You giggled and sent everybody a picture.
No, I didn't.
What did you say? This wouldn't have happened if we were
I said that to you. This wouldn't have happened if we were there.
No, it would have flooded deeper.
Oh. No, I only laughed because I was laughing at the thought
Because we weren't there.
No, the thought of like influencers in their RVs where they're safe, they've got a toilet, they've got a shower, they've got a bed, being like, ugh, mud. Like, to me, that.
Yeah, the problem is their RVs couldn't leave, and all of a sudden their toilet's overflowing. Their generators run out of petrol. All the solar cells aren't working anymore.
Everyone's fine.
Anna's waving at us. Come in here. Anna was doing a shoot with us today, and she's put on her secretary glasses.
Hi, guys. Well, all the best.
All the best. We'll see you when we're back.
Yeah, okay. Love you.
I thought I want to say 5 months. God, no. 5 weeks.
5 weeks. But yeah, so I might bring one roto and one flash. I might start going down that. Even though it's not really what I do, I just
That could be good.
spend more and more time trying to find the light. But I've looked back at that first picture we did in here that nobody's seen yet, in the honey bird corset,
yeah.
and thinking, maybe I should do this a little bit more, because I took an average light to a really nice light just by adding that tiny bit of
Yeah, maybe that's
flash.
cool.
But yeah,
We'll see.
we've got a lot of tutorials coming up, a lot on Inspire, and there's a little bit coming on. I'm finding it really hard with YouTube. Like, we did this cool shoot with Lottie, and I'm just there going,
I don't know if they're going
I don't know if they're going to allow it. So I've seen heaps of bikinis. She's wearing one piece, but they've knocked back Shay, and I don't know. I still think, I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
but it's still undies under there.
Yeah,
And
but maybe they can't see that.
well, if they could see a corner of a nipple, they can see it. Surely, if they've seen it, wouldn't they stop and double check it? Anyway, it's getting hard, because with the Lottie, I might just blur. I might just block, censor
I
it.
think that's what I think you asked me if you should do that the other day.
I know.
I said yeah,
But
you don't want to wreck it.
I think the wide angle shots I can leave, but anything on the
Close,
RX, I think I either won't use that bit of footage.
Sucks though.
Well, it ended up being good in a way, because we originally only shot it for YouTube, because Lottie likes shooting for YouTube, because she gets shooting for Inspire doesn't give her publicity, whereas YouTube gets her publicity, and she builds off that as a model. But because there's a fair bit of model training, there's a lot towards the end. So it ended up being a great Inspire. Like, I'm really happy with the Lottie and I banter back and forward, which I wouldn't put on YouTube, because it's a little bit too personal.
Yeah.
Like, it's not stuff that, like, someone on Inspire would be fine with it, but I don't want to show the world, because there's idiots out there that'll read into things the wrong way.
So you always do.
Well, it's even like the shoot we did with Anna today. Like, there's bits, if that was going on YouTube, there's
You'd
bits...
cut it out.
I'd cut it out for sure, because
Yeah.
people won't understand that.
Of course.
I had full permission from Anna to move her hair,
Yeah.
but there's other people out
That
there.
wouldn't know that, and even if you tried to explain it, they'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you're an old man, so you must be a perv.
But then also, other people are going to watch and think like, oh, it's okay
Like,
to
to
just
touch,
do this, and
yeah.
it's not.
They don't realise that. Well, I've been shooting with Anna since 2019, wasn't it? COVID was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's three years.
3 years. So, and we see Anna pretty regularly, so we've got that level of trust. And
Well, remember the
She's
shoot
friend.
she wanted for the guitar, for her husband for the guitar? Like, she wanted me to paint her nipples. Like, no, you can paint that. I'll do the lines around the outside. But I'm not... How do I explain to my wife, what did you do today? I painted somebody's nipples.
yeah, I feel you.
No, please don't.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. All right. There's a pig in the room. We need to get the pig out.
What pig?
The pink pig.
What do you mean?
The person that went is
Oh, yeah, I saw
No, hang on,
Barbie.
we've got to go the full circle. So last week had you seen you had seen with
yeah,
Jared.
So I was saying I
then-
didn't rate it.
You didn't rate it, and then Jared bailed and you had to go on your own.
No, I told him, I was like, I'm not going to make him go to the movies. Like,
And he said, good, I'm not coming.
Yeah, well, hang on, I need to sneeze.
Your eyes come out of your socket a little bit when you do that.
Sorry, spring has definitely sprung. My allergies have been so bad the last few days.
I don't know, I was talking with a neighbour. It's... Some mornings I just go crazy, and some, like nighttime, like 10, 11 at night. And he was saying the same thing. So last night I had a sneezing fit. I said, what time? He said 11. I said, I did 2.
That's strange.
Maybe the mushrooms are all spawnings.
Maybe, I don't know. That's strange though.
It is strange, but it's a coincidence. Maybe we're on the same levels.
Same level.
We should
Telepathetic.
We should get VR and play VR fighting games together. Like, so we'll get back onto
I'm glad that you're enjoying Black Mirror.
I have actually, because the first couple I watched, I thought, this is like the poor man's. It's like...
No, it's just some are hit and miss.
Well, so far the last 4 I've watched.
You've liked.
If you haven't seen, there's one on VR season 5, episode 1.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny. It's actually really cool. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I liked that episode as well.
It had a coolness and
yeah.
And
I
I
like
also
that show.
like the Indian lady one. I think that was with the
Demon
devil.
79.
Sorry?
That was, I think the episode's called Demon 79.
Yeah, that's
the
in
latest
season
season.
6.
Yeah, latest season.
And I like that because they didn't do the obvious for you, but then they did, but then they didn't. It was just really nice, very clever.
It was clever. I'm going to turn this heater off. I'm getting a bit hot.
I'm also finding
orange
it's
gel light.
because it's English, isn't it?
I think
Because
so.
the one that they did with the VR, they were trying to make it look like American. And all of a sudden, one street had the cars the wrong way round, like the right way. The next street, you could actually see the cars are driving on the English side.
I think it might be British.
And their accents, they weren't like American because they were African
I can't
guys.
remember. I watched it
They
ages
definitely weren't
ago.
Indian, so I'm certain they were African. They definitely didn't have an American accent, like a strong. You could see they were trying to put it on.
I don't know. I watched it ages ago, so I can't remember. Sorry.
Anyway, so now I've diverted from that. I can divert it back to Barbie Girl.
So I went to Barbie. I finally saw it.
So did you sneak
loved
in a
it.
glass and a bottle, or you just took the bottle and bought a glass?
I bought a glass. And then snuck the bottle in.
So the glass you bought cost more than the bottle you snuck in?
Same price.
Same price. So they
Actually,
got paid anyway.
No, that's incorrect. I don't know why, but maybe it was because it was Tuesday. Like maybe they do Tight-Ass Tuesday deals on the wine there as well, because it said $12 and she only charged me $6. So it was actually only $6.
$12 a glass, and they're not like they're giving you like $12 bottle of wine, isn't it?
Yeah, but I got a glass for $6. So I was like, that's nice. And then I had a.
Oh, so you're only ever going on Tuesdays from now on?
Well, I normally do only go on Tuesdays because if you're a member of Ticketek and then you log into that and then you go to Hoyts, you get discounted movie tickets on Tuesdays. Tight-Ass Tuesdays.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed it?
I loved it. It was
Because
so
it was
good.
a man-bashing movie.
It wasn't
Oh
a man
my
bashing.
God.
It was like just a bit sarcastic and it was really good and it was funny.
I've been told by a few people I should say it.
It's good.
Well,
really
I love
liked
Margot
it.
Robbie and I love...
Yeah, she's excellent in it.
What's
She's
his name?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. So
They're
two
both-
actors I really like.
They're
so.
both really good in it. It's really sarcastic. It's visually, it's really nice.
Did they go over the top? Was it like a... What's his name movie? Moulin Rouge, Australia... Baz Luhrmann. Was it that over top?
I don't watch any of his movies.
I don't know. It's really hard. Some of those type of movies I absolutely love. There was the one, never going to remember it now, but it was a musical, they were all dancing. It was so plastic. Everything felt like a scene out of...
Well, yeah, the Barbie world is really plastic.
Plastic, like it looks like it's computer made.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't mind...
But it's really like, I don't know, it's just funny little things like when she
You're going
takes
to
her...
give it away from people.
No, because it's on the trailer, like when she takes her shoes off, because
Was
like
that
Barbie
the
doll-
trailers that went to Burning Man that got stuck in the mud?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Like actual Barbie dolls, their feet are like on a slant, so you can put their little high heels on them. So
Like
when
ballerina feet?
like you're wearing high heels, like you're like
Yeah,
on your
ballerina
toes.
feet.
Yeah.
There's got a slight arch, so it slides on, or is it flat? I can't remember.
I don't know, it doesn't matter. But
Didn't you have a look at your Barbies at home when you got home?
No, I don't have them at home. They're mum's.
Oh, your mum's.
I think I've just got a tub of old toys. But like when Margot Robbie's walking and then like she'll take her shoes off, she's still on the toes. Like so, just little things like that were really cute. And yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. Had nice little touches in it. I liked the
And she
story.
doesn't have a vagina, does she?
Oh no, yeah, and she like says that. She says it at one point when she goes to the real world. Like just says it to this group of like.
So how does she go to the toilet?
She doesn't. She's a Barbie.
Do they eat?
Well, like when she's in Barbie Land and she's like having her breakfast in the morning, she'll pick up a glass and go like, but nothing comes out because like Barbie's shown it. It's got like these little cute things in it that I really like, just like these little details.
So
That's
in
good.
Barbie world, how do they get Barbie babies?
They don't. Well, there was one Barbie that was pregnant for a while.
So how did she get pregnant?
She came in the box pregnant.
But someone had to make the box.
Yeah, Mattel, who make the Barbies.
How do they get into Barbie world to make it? It's all right, I'm trying to find holes in the movie, but it's that type of movie. If you look for holes, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Because it's not true.
It's just a stupid, silly movie, but I really liked it. And I went to the movies by myself, which I've never done before. But
Yeah, but I've already said something a woman can do, it's not something a man can do. Can you imagine a man sitting in the Barbie movie on his own? The police would come in with flashlights. What was it? There was something, I don't know if it was a podcast or something, that it's against the law to masturbate in a cinema because they call it indecent exposure. But if the lights are out, how does anyone see? Oh, when you put a torch on them, you can see. Well, don't put a torch on them. I can't remember what it was. It might have been a Rogan thing or something. I heard the conversation, and it's full on that sometimes the police will raid, and they're not like porn. Oh, it might have been porno ones. Oh, yeah, whatever. It was just really weird that the police would raid with torches to catch people eating twisties.
Yes, I remember you telling me about that. Well, I don't know.
Was it full?
No. Because it's been out for ages. It came out when I was still in Europe. So it's been out for a while. I think it's been out for like 6 weeks.
Oh.
So like it was kind of empty. So it probably wouldn't be too weird if you went to see it. Because not really many people going to see it. There's 2 little girls like...
No, that'd be weird. One old man with 2 little girls in the Barbie.
There was like some little girls a few seats away from me. I was like, God damn it, how am I
I think if I go, I'll go with the 360 so I can film everybody looking at me.
Oh my God. There was like a whole like section that no one was sitting in. You could just go sit over there and that wouldn't be weird.
That would even be weirder.
Well,
Just go into, I'll just wait for it to come onto Foxtel or something.
Yeah, shouldn't be take too long. Now like movies come out pretty quickly these days.
I'm not. See, this is where Len, my son, I always got mad at him because I'm always one that 100% against pirating. Like with everything, I don't ever steal stuff online. I don't steal games. Well, I hardly play games, but anything like music. The only thing I'd say is I do take some downloads off YouTube, but that's because we don't always have internet for workshops. I want to be able to show the video. Yeah. Everyone still gets credit for it. I'm a premium or whatever they call it. So I don't have to see ads anyway because I'm already that. So I'm not costing anybody and I'm not sharing it.
Yeah, it's just for your own private collection.
It's only, otherwise if I was guaranteed to be able to get Wi-Fi everywhere, I wouldn't even bother clogging up my computer with that.
Do you think that you're so like against that because you are like an artist yourself, and so like because like you've been in a band and then like it's like so you don't? That's why you're like, no, someone's gone to the effort of creating this, and I don't want to steal it because I'd be. Like, do you think that's where it comes from, or do you think it's?
It could be, but I was doing it before that. So there was a scheme happening at the school that you pay $1 and these guys would record a cassette for you off an album, or they might have had a cassette, they'll dub you a cassette. And I was always, like I was playing music but not as a level to earn money or anything at that stage.
Just always been
and I was only playing covers and I wasn't even writing. And I've always just felt like this is somebody's living.
Yeah.
And because especially when you're young, you don't just go out and buy any old album. You need to hear it 5 or 6 times to other people's places and go, yeah, I'm going to spend my 2 weeks pocket money on that one record because I like it that much.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's always, and Len and Nikki, my kids hated me because of it. Because I just said, and a couple of times I said to Len, just ask for $1 and I'll buy you the thing. But he was always, with movies, he had to see them the second they were out. It was sort of like, if I don't see them now, I've missed it. And I was always happy, like, when Kill Bill came out, for some reason, work didn't allow me to see the pictures, and I was fine. I'll wait till it comes out on DVD. And the second it came out on DVD, I bought it and then watched it for the first time.
Yeah. I don't know, I think I like seeing things, I just get scared of spoilers. Like, I feel like the longer I don't see something, the more chance it's going to get spoiled for me.
Yeah, I can see that because sometimes I get a bit annoyed when someone will say, like sometimes when I say to you that, the ending.
There's a really good twist coming, and then you spend the entire
I know,
movie
and
being
it's
like,
real-
what's the twist? What's the twist?
It's really hard to get somebody to watch a movie that they're not quite into, but you know that they would be into it if they
yeah.
knew what that was.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you tell me there's a twist, I spend half the movie trying to work out.
I'm 100% on your side. That's why I need you to watch Bodies.
Bodies.
It's driving me up the wall.
Oh my God, I've
I
been
want to talk
busy.
about it.
I'll try and watch it before
It's
we
all right.
go.
No, it's all right. I'm just going to put it into the back. But you need to see it with Jared's. Otherwise, it's on my computer. You can
we
watch
started
it.
to watch. I know we started to watch it
And
while
then
we
you
were
fell
away.
asleep.
No, for some
Oh,
reason
no, you got the internet.
the internet when the Airbnb we stayed in Croatia was absolutely horrible.
Were you watching it off my Apple?
Yeah. But we had to watch it off the cloud or something. I don't know. It just kept freezing at one point. I think we tried.
No, I had that problem. See, most of the movies I like, I've got downloaded on there, so I don't even need to be. So with Apple, you're allowed to download them onto your computer.
Yeah, but we were trying to download it, and the internet
It wasn't
too
good enough. Yeah.
to do to this. So we had to stream it off the cloud, but then it would get to one point and it would just stop and it would just spin, and I'm like, this is annoying. And then it would load like 10 seconds and then it would like freeze again. So we just tried pausing it for a while and then playing. No, that didn't make a difference.
It's like when I was, for a little while, I was able to watch a little bit of F1 through Foxtel, but it would like every 4 or 5 minutes, it would spin and I'd have to go back out of it, restart it, zoom up to that spot, and at the end it was sort of like,
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I know. It gets irritating. Hate that.
It still drives me up the wall. I don't understand with the world so small that things just can't be released worldwide at the same time.
No.
I cannot see any reason, and I don't see why we need to have zones. I think the zone system would still work. If I got my CD, the DVD player that plugs into that, and grab some of my DVDs, I'd put it in, it goes, wrong zone.
I remember that.
Well, that's wrong. It's available everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the other thing that still annoys me, and I don't know, lots of things annoying me. So the Sonos system, as much as it should be amazing, has two major flaws. If you put a certain song on Dead Mouse, it crashes.
It doesn't like Danielle
And
by
it does
Fred again.
yeah. There's
my
certain
favourite Fred again
songs it'll
song.
crash. It just won't play the song. It just stops and jumps to the next song.
It's so strange.
First,
You're drifting out of frame, by the way. As always.
Oh, sorry. You're very much in frame. Maybe I don't have it framed right. Let's move you a little bit and let me check
forgot
to
I
make
faked
sure
tan.
we're still. Sorry?
I didn't put on my tan foundation, but I fake tanned over the weekend.
I don't know when I'm going to do it. I so much want to do your makeup.
Alright.
No, because last night's editing of you was like, if I showed her how to do it properly, I wouldn't have to do this editing. And even now, you're going to hate me for this.
I know, I just said they're two different colours.
No. There is a distinct line that runs the whole way around your neck as a dead straight line. Yeah, I know, but we're going to make, and also, we need to start putting some type of little bit of lip pencil on you.
I don't have a lip pencil.
I know, but we should get you one.
I know I should. I always say this every time
It's
I go
only
to
because
Sephora.
you're getting some white patches on your lips, so now your lips disappear in little patches. Well, I do like that you've got 2 little freckles on your lips. Have you noticed?
I have one there.
Oh, you got 3 freckles on your lips.
Oh.
You're on there, on there, on there.
Are you sure my lips are just dry at the moment?
No, they're on.
Oh.
I only know because I had to put heaps of contrast to do retouching, and they really stood out. And because we had that model Charlotte in, and I said, "Is there anything on your face that you don't like, which you'd prefer not to be
Scarlet.
there?" What did I say?
Charlotte.
Oh, Scarlet. Charlotte. But I thought Scarlet.
Yes.
I've been calling her Charlotte.
My name's Scarlett.
Oh, is it? Well, that's not a song then. Charlotte, the harlot, is an old English song. Scarlet, Pimpernel, I don't know. But she said she has a little freckle on the middle of her lip, and she said she loves it the most thing in the world.
There you go.
I said, I can hardly see it.
I got confused. I was like, we haven't had a Charlotte in here. What are you talking about? I'm
just
just checking.
checked
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yes.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, you're trying to run away from me.
No.
What was I doing before you really rudely made me walk over there? I was on a roll.
You were talking about DVD zones and stuff.
Oh yeah, I still. Sorry, no, I'd gone on to the. So with Sonos, so I'm talking about having a system in your house.
Yeah.
So Sonos is a waste of time, doesn't work unless you hardwire it.
Like the Wi-Fi, so wireless doesn't work.
No, Wi-Fi doesn't work. Once you have too many and you get an aggressive song, it starts cutting everyone out. Well, you saw that even in Amsterdam. They had Sonos system in there. Remember it was cutting out from room to room?
No, I thought it was working fine.
No, it cut out in my room all the time. Oh. So for next problem is you can bring other people's playlists, but you've got to keep authorizing the Apple one every couple. And if you update, you can't update your playlist from within it, so you have to go back to Spotify or Apple or whatever, update it then, let it come into.
That I can understand. I would feel like
that's annoying. Though.
Yeah, but I don't think that they would. I think it's because
if I hear a song, I want to save it to my Apple list.
Yeah, I know, but it's because they're a third-party player, and so.
Yeah. But, all right, so if I then jump onto the Apple system with their what are they called, the pods that I have around my house? Home pods.
Yeah.
They drop in and out all the time now.
Oh.
And you can only play Apple Music on it. So if I find something real cool on YouTube and want to listen to it, forget that.
Sounds like a very Apple thing. I'm surprised you're surprised by that.
Well, if you want to take over the world...
It just feels like a really Apple thing.
Apple don't do a YouTube, so they should really allow people to listen to YouTube.
Don't give them ideas.
Apple YouTube, it will never take off. No, well, because Apple would be even more woke than YouTube, so no, it would never work. I did love something Elon Musk put up. He put up something about, he put all the things, if you want to be censored, go to these sites.
Oh my God.
Your
buddy,
funny.
Elon.
My buddy.
Your buddy.
I don't love everything he does, but...
Your buddy. You love him.
I do like some... He's a bit funny sometimes with some of his... I wish that fight happened.
What fight?
It's supposed to be a fight, a full-on fisty fight with him and Zuckerberg.
Oh, gosh.
They even said name a place, name a time, and he did, and he said, right, I'll go.
Dick swinging contest.
Yeah, it would have been.
I know, that's embarrassing. You're grown men.
I don't think either of them are grown. I think they're big.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway.
I mean, it is annoying that the Sonos drops out.
I'm just annoyed that... How does a musician listen to his own music on an iPhone?
They'd have it in their notes. Or like they'd have it in their files.
So they have to listen to it through their files. They can't listen... Can you listen to it through...
Why would you... Who's doing that?
You're obviously not a musician.
Obviously not.
No, I'm serious. When back in the day, when we used to handpick our food, we'd go in, we'd record a demo or something, freaking that would be on repeat
Yeah, but
in
just
my
listen to
car.
your files.
On a phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what...
Because you'd have them, if it's your song, you'd have the master, you'd have like the great quality, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I don't... So I tried to listen to Sweet Lip on my iPhone, could not get it to play. And I have the files on there. It keeps on opening it in Apple, but then won't play it. It's not there.
I'll have a look at it when we finish doing this.
No, you don't have to. It was just more that even the DJs and that. Don't...
But DJs are always like Mandragora's always posting screenshots of just him listening to like a file, like playing just a file on his phone. Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
That's still annoying. Shouldn't you just be able to have a library of your sounds?
I guess he does in his files, I don't know.
It's not really up... Like, listening to individual files is not like 2023.
Why? Because I think in files, if you press play, it would just like play through them all. I don't know.
I hope our autos... I think it worked.
Yeah, it looks fine. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it still makes me annoyed that there's a lot of things. As you get older, little things annoy you.
Well, actually, no, because like if you're an artist and you put your song on Spotify, you can just go to Spotify and and listen to it there.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be published.
Yeah, so you've got to publish
it. Yeah, but
so you mean for people? Okay, right. Right.
And see, so a lot of the bands, they don't want anybody else hearing it, but they want to be able to listen to it or want to be able to show other people.
Yeah, you have to do it through files.
Or have a SoundCloud and have it set to private.
Yeah, all that.
But then you can only listen to that through Sonos or Alexa.
No?
No, I mean in multi-speaker situations.
Right.
You couldn't listen to it on the Apple because you can't put...
So it only plays Apple Music. It doesn't play any other application. That's so strange.
No, it's annoying because if I bring up music on at home, I'll bring up iMusic or whatever they're calling it now. And when I play something, I can select what rooms I want it to play in and the volumes I want it to play in. I want to be able to do that. I find a really cool friggin' DJ on YouTube. I think, I feel like listening to this. But then if I just play it in my own little office, play it out through my sound jack and into my speakers, Shree doesn't get it in the rest of the house.
You can, UE booms, you can link up.
Yeah, but they're all battery. You got to put everyone. You're going to have to charge them up and the UB doesn't like being on charge all the time.
I was going to say, why don't you just leave it on charge all the time then?
I'm not a big fan of that. Chargers are really good at burning houses down.
Oh. Well, I'm just kind of trying to come up with a
No,
solution.
I know what you do, but this is what annoys me. That
I thought there was. No. But even that's kind of annoying, like, because Jared got a UE boom and then I got one maybe like a year or so later, but they'd bought out a newer model, and we can't pair ours because they aren't the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? That's so stupid.
Well, I remember Sarah Fable having a problem with Alexa, and it was playing ads and spying on her, and she didn't like that.
What do you mean?
Well, all of a sudden, it's just played an ad. It stopped her music and played an ad.
And they're not supposed to do that?
No, it was a Amazon ad. It wasn't what she was listening to. It wasn't a Spotify ad.
So what do you mean they were spying on her?
Well, people have said that they hear you talk on those speakers. They say they hear it on phones, but every time I've tried it, it doesn't work. So every single time I picked up my phone and said a product that I would never buy, it never comes up in my feed.
I don't know if it works. I don't know if
What's
it's
it?
true.
Yeah, but all of a sudden I'll go shopping somewhere, and all of a sudden it comes up in my feed, and I didn't even buy it.
Yeah, because it's cookies. That's because it knows you've gone to the site.
No, I'm talking about in the shop.
Oh, that's weird.
I think. Anyway.
Are you sure it's not online?
I don't know.
I find dumb with the whole cookies thing with the ads and it suggesting things. Is it like it'll do it? You'll go to a site and you'll buy something, and then you go to like Idiot Book or something.
Tries to sell you the same thing you just bought.
Yeah, and it's like advertising what you just bought, and I'm like,
why don't you look at something that somebody else has bought after that?
Exactly. Like, why are you trying to advertise this to me? I already bought it. Like, that's a waste of money. It's so stupid.
Maybe they don't get that information that you actually bought it.
Maybe
the only information that cookies get is that you looked at it.
Maybe. I mean, that would make more sense, because it's pretty stupid to advertise something to someone who's just bought that thing.
Well, and things like that has got annoying because I'm so much better now. I've learnt, so I don't buy dumb shit, is never ever buy it in my first look. And I notice then I get things come up. And
With
go,
discounts?
You're trying to force me to buy this. I'm refuse to click on this.
What if you really want it,
Well, I'll end up buying it.
Yeah, I guess. Speaking of that, I've noticed, sometimes like they'll start offering you discounts and stuff.
Haven't noticed that. But I did notice someone came up with a hack that when you go, and I think it's more for America than Australia, because it's hard enough to find anything that's available in Australia on Amazon. Like everything, like, you'll get it in 4 months' time. But the normal stuff that comes up first is normally the most expensive. And I had an app hack that all you have to do is the first thing that come up, you drop that URL into it and it would find the cheapest one on Amazon.
I saw a thing that someone said, she said she's only sure it works in Australia, she doesn't know if it works anywhere else, but if you feel like Domino's, and I was like, who really feels like Domino's? There's so much better pizza.
Is that with the little black things, with the dots?
Pizza. Like, if you feel like Domino's pizza.
Do you know I've never had one?
I think we had it for lunch when we were at someone else, we were doing workshop at someone else's.
So I brought it in there?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I've never physically...
You've never physically gone, I don't like...
It would have been you force-fed me it. You didn't say this is a...
I used to get it all the time, but then I grew some taste buds. So.
You grew some taste, but you went to Milan.
So many other better pizzas out there. But this girl was saying if you feel like Domino's pizza, go to Google and type in Pizza Hut, and then an ad comes up for Domino's with 40% off, and you go there and you order it.
Oh, Pizza Hut would love what you just done for him.
She put it on TikTok and had thousands of likes. But that's so she was like, if you feel like Domino's, which I do all the time, I was like, oh, girl, like, come on. There's so many better pizzas out there.
There are. Well, I've never had one. Well, I've had one, but I didn't know I had. But it's like, when we went, was that what we had in China?
I can't remember what pizza
Chinese
that was.
Domino's.
It might have been.
Yeah, there's been a few places we've been to, like they've just got pizza they've piled up in the kitchen. Someone handed me a plate with a pizza on it, and I didn't end up eating it most of the time.
They got I remember they got, I don't know if it was Domino's, but I remember they got pizza because I'm fussy.
Did it have fish heads on it?
No, it had pickles on it. And I was like, don't put pickles on pizza. I don't like pickles. And I was starving. All I'd eaten was Pringles and red wine for a few days. I was so excited for a pizza, and then it had pickles on it.
Oh my God, you are. So I need to paint a bigger picture. I don't know what we're going to do because is it a little bit annoying, but when we do workshops, we ask for dietary requirements. And when some people give us the dietary requirements, really, how are we going to find that food?
Yeah.
Like it'll be, I'm gluten intolerant, this intolerant, can't eat this, can't eat that. Well, maybe just bring your own food. But then listening to you talk.
What?
If I ask for your dietary requirements for an event, I don't eat mushrooms, I don't like pickles, I don't like eggplant, you just won't eat.
Or I'll find something, but I can normally find something to eat. But I don't reply to people.
So you didn't find anything to eat at that first night in China?
I did, Pringles.
That wasn't at the restaurant.
No, but I went back to the room and ate Pringles. So I'll always find something to eat.
You didn't even drink much of the wine.
I took the rest of the wine back with me.
Oh, so the wine was all right?
Yeah, the wine was fine.
Oh.
I took the wine back to my room and I had wine and Pringles. It was nutritious. I had some vegetables. It was Pringles made of potatoes, and I had some fruit salad. It was mostly grapes, maybe fermented grapes, but it was fruit salad.
So there's no salad in wine?
Yes, there is. It's fruit salad. It's just mostly grapes.
It's all grapes. Oh, no, it's not all grapes. I actually found out there's some other things they put.
Mostly grapes. And then the Pringles were some vegetables. It was potato, and the flavouring was got onion.
Glyphosate.
It's got some sour cream. There you go. It's some dairy product.
Yeah, sorry, there was no sour cream in it. It's chemical number UE boom 2.
But no, I don't tell people. Like, I feel like if anything, if we go somewhere and someone asks us like, oh, is there like, if they ask us if like about food
allergies or,
and then you're the one who always throws me under the bus, and you're like, she's really fussy. I'm like, and they're like, oh, tell us like, what don't you eat? And it's like, look,
everything.
Just tell me what you're ordering.
I'll eat pizza, a margarita pizza.
I'll get a cheese pizza. I'm fine. I'll just get a cheese pizza. It's always safe.
So you wouldn't even do a cheeseburger. You actually banned burgers for a while.
Because
have you thrown that away?
I will for America. No, because I always like burgers in America. I feel
aren't we doing?
Yeah, no.
We've already picked out all the burgers.
I've always liked
Mexican.
burgers in America. It's just I feel like in Melbourne where we had such a burger craze here, and every time I'd go out for burgers with my mates, I was always disappointed. And it's been like $20.
Is it because they tried to woke them?
Not woke.
What's the ponytail people called?
Hipster.
They tried to hipster them. They put avocado and eggplant.
No, because I normally just get like a pretty stock standard burger because I don't feel that. I feel like that's just a bit dramatic putting all that stuff on it. Like, just calm your titties. Like, we don't need to do that. The burger just needs to have some solid sauce, lettuce, cheese, tomato, onion.
I wish the Buxton burger was still going.
It's all a bucket burger.
No, but you would be devoted, but it's just so nice because it does have pineapple.
Oh no, that's fine. If you fish and chip shop burgers are fine with pineapple and egg and beetroot and stuff. That's fine.
Oh yeah, egg, beetroot. It's all of that stuff.
I'm not mad about people that get them. It's when people start putting stupid things on burgers, and I'm like, calm.
Like anchovies or
olives.
So
that would be. Yeah, see, that would just be a bit weird. We don't need to do that.
Well, I must admit,
don't reinvent the wheel.
Kiki, we went to her place once, and she had a gourmet pizza place, and when she said, it was like souvlaki pizza.
Interesting.
And then there was like, all the pizzas had these different, like, fried rice pizza. No, but the souvlaki pizza was absolutely to die for. It just tasted like eating a souvlaki, but it didn't have much on it. It was still very minimal, but they were very clever with the taste. I don't know if I would have had the fried rice pizza, but the souvlaki pizza actually, so don't mind a bit of sous.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
No, I will eat burgers in America, and I can get bacon on everything in America because I love American bacon. It's so good.
And pork belly.
But it's really thin
Yeah,
and
that's
it goes
pork
real.
belly.
I know, and then we use leg here, and
No, we get the streaky bacon. Well, I get the streaky bacon.
but that still comes from the leg.
No.
No, if you get it like from Woolies, you do.
Oh, yeah, but that's not streaky. They just call it that.
Yeah. But that still comes
No,
from the
the
leg.
proper,
You need to
like,
get
the three butchers that I know,
Yeah.
they literally have the pork belly there and they
I
slice
like
it.
Montrose because they ask you how thin you want it
Want it
sliced.
sliced,
So I'll
yeah.
tell them thin, and then I cook it and I make it all crispy, and I'm like, and then Jared thinks that I'm weird, so I have to make him regular bacon, and I make the crispy bacon for myself.
But, see, I don't find that weird.
What?
Well, I get really fussy with eating, like, my wife's a chef, but I'd rather cook my own eggs and bacon. But it's because I like
You
it
like
exactly done a certain way,
Yeah.
and it's to my palate, and she's like, it varies a little bit. So
Well, it's kind of, Jared's a little bit the same, like, because Jared's not fussy, like, at all. It's like, except for coriander. He will not eat coriander, soapy dirt. Other than that, he is not fussy, and I think that's why I do most of the cooking and, like, I do most of the shopping as well, because I've noticed he's not even fussy when he buys groceries sometimes. Like, oh, this onion will do. And it's like, no, Jared, like, you've got to know what the onion's like, how big. If he's getting, I think I asked him, we were shopping once and we were getting.
So you're doing a roast and you bought a red onion.
No, like we were doing pizzas, but like with pita bread as the base, and we were shopping. And I picked up and I'm like looking at the pita breads to make sure that they didn't have like too many folds, and so it would be a good base for a pizza. And he's like, "What are you looking at it for?" I'm like, "Because
Exactly. No,
like, it's going to be a base of a pizza. I don't want it to be squash. I don't want it to have ripples in it." And he's like, "Oh, see, this is why you do this. You do the shopping, because I wouldn't look for that." I'm like,
Well, Shree and I had I'm not going to say Barney, it was like not a yelling match, but it was a disagreement. Because if anything, Shree, like if you can buy cellophane wrap or cling wrap, she'll buy the 10-metre roll rather than the 30-metre roll. Whereas if you added up the 30-metre roll, so much cheaper.
Yeah.
But it means she has to pay all that money out of her pocket today.
That's kind of girl math, though, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but right, so she has this new green, like greaseproof paper, and I said, "Why are you buying this crap? It doesn't work. It's terrible, and you're taking Australian jobs away, and you're supporting Woolworths." And she said, "Well, she said there was none of the other brands on the shelf." I said, "If I went into a Woolworths and they only had their home brand on a shelf and everything else was, I would have called the manager."
Really?
I would have been a Karen. Yeah, sorry, that's enforcing. Why haven't you stopped? Why is it you're the only thing that's stocked on the shelf? So you're putting other businesses out of business because you're buying it at a super discount, so you're making a bigger profit. You're putting Australian. And
But
when I
that's-
said, have a look at this, made in China. Have a look at this.
It's bigger than just the manager. That's like the
No,
CEOs.
but the manager, yeah, but still, the manager pays the people to stock the shelf.
Yeah.
Right? She's in charge of making sure the shelves are stocked. If her job, if she is saying stock ours first and then leave the rest till later, or if she's ordering,
Right.
later,
Yeah.
like the head office doesn't know this. This is the manager of the store. I haven't done this. I said to Shree, and I said, "Look at this, made in China." So all three of them made in China, all Woolworths brand, and I pulled out some of the other brands we used to buy and said, "Look, 53% Australia, packed in Australia, these things in it." So we should be supporting our own workers.
I noticed your tea was.
Thank you.
I noticed.
No, Shree goes, "Oh, I don't have time for that." Well, I don't know if you've seen me. I'm very
I
careful.
know you do, but I'm.
Well, I just feel that, number one, everyone carries on that my generation anti the world. Well, sorry, my generation never came up with bottled water. We drank out of a tap. We never had plastic bags, we had paper bags. So all of this stuff isn't my generation. These are generations come forward, but we get the blame for it. But I still feel that more damage is done carting shit all around the world to destinations rather than having it made in each country. And if the government's just said, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut down stuff coming from other countries and all the general stuff that we can make here, we make here, the carbon think that would fix would be enormous.
I just look at the price and try and get whatever's the cheapest because I have a mortgage and it keeps going up and it's getting a little scary at the moment.
All right, I might be lucky that I don't look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, price has, when it comes to it's fruit and meat, I refuse to buy from big supermarkets and that, again, because a lot of it comes from overseas, but also a lot of it, like they glue the meat and it's that
Certain
dodgy
meat
stuff.
I'm fussy with, but at the same time, like I can't afford.
Well, you know the difference between the butcher I used to go to and say Woolworths.
Yeah, exactly. And
It is a big difference. But I'll just say, well,
I
I will only have steak once a month, but have their steak rather than have it once a week.
But that's like what we do. Like if we're doing steaks, it's like a big deal because we will go to the butcher and we will get a nice
so if you
cut
get
of
a steak, but you won't buy a crappy steak.
No, because I'm really fussy with. Especially with steak, I'm very fussy in the I fillet and it has to be proper from a butcher, but that's like a treat for us. So like, I'm not buying it once a week. It's like, maybe a once a month thing. So actually, I should get Jared to cook that because he does cook. She's cooking dinner tonight. He's cooking ramen. Excited.
He's a bit dumb, isn't he?
Why?
Well, it's your last week home for 5 weeks. He's cooked twice.
Well,
he's going to be cooking for the next 5 weeks. So you think he'd made you cook every day?
No, I know, but
this week.
I said to him, I feel really bad making you cook, and I was like, but like last night he had to because I was at the movies, and that started at 6.
Well, if he'd come with you, he wouldn't have had to. If he didn't bail on you, I hope you rubbed in how good it was.
I did.
I'm going to say, anybody on YouTube just saw her face change.
I think I came busting through the door, and I was like, it was amazing.
Well, it's like when you busted through the door yesterday in the office. It's like, it was the best thing ever.
That was this morning.
Was that here?
That was today. It was today.
Oh, that's right, it was here, sorry.
It was so good.
More wine.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Amazing.
It was. I loved it. Are you checking that we're still
I'm
recording? You're
checking.
paranoid now.
Well, I am. It's
Paranoid Peter.
really hard.
It could have been your MySpace name. It could have been Peter Paranoid. Because you had to have like an alliteration. That's why I was
You
flipped.
had to have.
Well, that was like the MySpace thing. Like you'd have like.
But you
your
didn't
name-
have to, because I think my MySpace was just Peter Colson.
No, I mean like if you're a scene kid.
Oh, I wasn't a kid.
I'm saying if you
like
were.
I was late. Like when Facebook came out, and I was on MySpace for the bands, the music.
No, I'm saying like if you were like hypothetically, if you were younger and you were a scene kid, it could have been. No, don't worry, it was a bad joke. I was trying to be funny.
I get you.
get
So what was your name? Oh, you can't. Why not?
I can't say it.
Why not?
It's got a slur in it.
But it wasn't a slur then.
I know, it wasn't.
So this is where I get annoyed that something that wasn't a slur when it was can't be frowned upon if it wasn't bad
sorry,
then.
it was a slur.
No,
sorry.
it was something. It was like.
No, it was still an insult against gay people. But because
No, they used to call themselves that all the time.
they still do call themselves that.
Yeah, no, all my friends always called themselves that.
Yeah.
So I can't see that being a slur. It's a
Well, it's
way
still-
you say it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
I
what,
don't- yeah,
I've
and-
even got gay friends who say that they're like it's the way that it's said.
No, but I think that's. But it's once you type it, nobody sees the way you say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But also people weren't. No, it was still a slur back then. It was just people weren't as snowflakey as they are now back then.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
That's why no one really
It's
cared.
only like 10 years that everything has changed in 10 years with the gut. It's like the P word. We're talking about gay people, P.
Oh yeah.
Right, seriously, when I was 12, one of the gymnasium what they call leaders, trainers, like the best gymnastics instructor, the committee found out that he was gay, and they used the P word when they said they couldn't work here anymore. And I was devastated because I didn't fully 100% understand what they were talking about, but he was like the best instructor, is by far the best gymnast in there. And they had this thing that if you were gay, you must be a pervert. No, I'm seriously, but back then, and it's a lot of the gay bashing, a lot of the homophobic back when I was growing up, was they just thought if they're in a room with a gay person, he's going to try and rape me.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous.
But all the straight guys in there, if a girl walks in the room, they all want to rape her.
Exactly.
So they're seeing their own thoughts.
It's like what you say about mirrors.
Mirrors,
Stuff,
yeah. They're more getting affected by their own thoughts.
Yeah, 100%.
And mirrors. And Becca's now seen my mirrors are pretty accurate.
What do you mean now seen? When did I not?
I meant, well, before you worked with me, you never heard
before,
of mirrors.
yeah.
But you actually see what I mean is if someone says something, you go, oh, that's the way your brain thinks.
Yeah.
You're not a nice person.
Yeah, I know, 100%.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Redunculous.
People are interesting. Psychology.
People are very...
Well, this is why I wanted to do psychology.
I don't think they're interesting anymore. They become more sheepy.
What?
People become more sheep. They just... What's the word? Headlines. They read a headline, they just believe it.
Oh, people are becoming sheep. Yeah.
And they're becoming more sheep.
Yeah.
So I don't think psychiatry works anymore because they say that all your mental illness, no, we should need to make a rule that mental illness is not a mental illness.
No, they don't. And also, I wanted to be a psychologist in a jail. I wanted to deal with like crazy people.
You saw Silence of the Lambs.
That's
when
not
you were
why.
very young.
I know it was Red Dragon actually.
Oh, that's why you wanted... Sorry, if anyone's going to turn you, it'll be Red Dragon. Oh, my God.
Thanks, Mum, for making me watch Red Dragon when I was 10 years
Freaking
old.
amazing movie.
It is a really good movie.
And
I
yes,
was
I can
10.
see why you want to.
And I was
But
kind
even
of
Silence
scarred
of the
for life.
Lambs, the same thing. There's an intriguing mystery.
Yeah. And then I got straight A's in psych in school, and I was like, I'm going to become a criminal psychologist. And that's what I wanted to do. And my dream job was going to be being a psychologist in a jail and talking to the crazies.
And you end up working for a crazy instead.
I'm still talking to the crazy.
Yeah, super crazy. So, hardly any people answered my question from last week.
Oh, the Shay video.
Yeah.
Well,
There was about 2 or 3. So I'm going to put a question each week.
Okay.
Because we want to vary this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things we're thinking of. One of the things I'm thinking of, we get a lot of people want us to do our live streams again. But we can't do a live stream and podcast, but we could do a live stream and then make it a podcast. Mm-hmm. So it's something we're thinking of maybe doing. If you think it's a good idea, which means we'll let you know when we're going to do a live stream.
And then you can jump
on, ask us some questions,
live.
But then it would go into a podcast as well as being on both our normal channel on YouTube and our
on
podcast
this podcast channel. Yeah.
That was number one. The next thing we were thinking about doing is we talk crap regardless of what we're doing.
Where we are.
Or where we are. So we were thinking about doing a couple of things like maybe some of our easier recipes while we're doing a podcast, talking our crap, but we're cooking.
Yeah.
And I also suggested to Bec that we're going 360 to play. We're going to do some playing while we're overseas.
Okay.
And maybe try doing podcasts while we're walking.
Yes, walk around New York. My only thing that I said to Peter is it might be a bit noisy, but we will see how
I
it
also
goes.
thought that we could most likely get a podcast done in the big lap around the hills.
In LA?
No, Alinda.
Oh, right. Sorry, America's on my mind and we're staying in the Hollywood Hills.
Hollywood Hills. I don't know. All they're going to get out of me in the Hollywood Hills is... Have you seen how steep those hills are? Cars can hardly drive up some of them.
We'll be fine. We're staying there. I'm excited.
You're excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Let us know if you want that, or if you've got any other ideas of what we can do for a potty.
Bec and I can just keep talking crap or what happened each week.
Or even when we were up in Cairns and we were in the pool and then people said it was inappropriate, but I thought that was fun. What's inappropriate about being in a pool?
Yeah, I don't. But again, mirrors.
Mirrors, true.
Yeah, if they see it inappropriate, they think what they would do
That's true.
if they were a young girl with a hot boss. So I get it. I know that having your boss in a pool, only hand reach away for Beck, it must have been so hard for her to restrain herself. I fully understand it. But Becca's a very professional. She might take me to the odd sex pool now and then and take me to a sex therapist sometimes.
It's because I am... I'm just really professional and I just, I've got some restraint.
Just final before we finish, there was a comment from our last week's photos, which means we have to think about next week's photos.
yeah,
Someone made a comment
Wow.
and said, Peter, congratulations. And then Bec in white, oh my God. And for like a half an hour, I'm thinking the congratulations were you're engaged.
And they thought that we were engaged.
But then when I saw our thing and saw that I had won an award, I thought, thank God for that. I didn't know how to answer because I didn't want to put the person down.
When you're dyslexic.
So I thought it was pretty obvious that you said that you got engaged to Jared. And there's no J anywhere in my name.
No. My Jared, who's
Your
making
Jared.
me ramens.
I don't know what photo I'm going to use. I'll find something from the vault, something entertaining.
I'm just trying to think what I'm going to dig out from.
Me too.
I might try and find the earliest picture of... Well, it's not that early, because I just went through a long period of not having pictures to... All right, no, I might find the earliest pictures of myself with my wife.
Oh.
So you need to find the earliest picture of you
Me
and
and Jared.
Jared.
Yeah, no, easy.
Oh.
We've been dating for 9 years.
All right, let's change it to my
2004.
first love, which was Cherie, and your first love, which was the Telstra boss, wasn't it?
No.
I'm joking. I'm trying to make it harder for you.
No, that'd be cute. We'll do our first photos with...
Your first photo.
Yeah, and I know which one it was. So we were at a New Year's party.
I might have to scan mine.
I will too, 'cause mine's a Polaroid. We were at a New Year's party.
Mine was shot on the Kodak Instamatic.
We weren't even a thing. We weren't even dating.
Not even a thing.
No, I was just excited that he turned up to the party because I had a crush on him.
You had a crush on him.
Our best friends were dating.
Were
and
you
then,
single at the time?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. And then our best friends were dating, and then because our best friends were dating, we were hanging out, and then the four of us got a little Polaroid together on a sofa bed at a...
And you put it on your bed head and look at it every night?
No, I didn't.
You sure?
Yeah.
Put it in a frame?
Well, it turns out he had a crush on me, so things moved pretty fast.
Oh.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
I didn't know. I thought it was out of my league. Anyway,
Anyway,
I'm not going to go into that. Bye, guys.